a prisoner of war with the Muslim. Horse's ears, the heat of my blood. About some old relations. Khalid bin Waleed said that it was mad. This army was ready to march. I want to avenge my uncle's death. So friends, this was our today's. He knew that the ransom of Banu Makhzum's son would not be less than 4,000 dirhams. He went to the Muslims and took the name of his brother. A Muslim who was responsible for the release of the prisoners asked him to pay 4,000 dirhams. Khalid's brother Hisham said that he wanted some ransom. You are one of us, so think about some old relations. The Muslim said that we are not one of you, and we are under the command of the Prophet of Allah. Hisham asked if he could talk to the Prophet of Allah. Khalid bin Waleed said that he had sacrificed his brother for his brother, but he asked him to give him as much as he asked for. He would not beg for mercy in front of Muhammad. He threw the bag full of dirhams in front of the Muslims and asked them to give him to him. When the ransom was counted, Khalid and Hisham gave it to Walid. The three brothers left for Makkah at the same time. The two brothers asked Walid what was the reason for their defeat. They expected that Walid, who was from a warlike family, would tell them the qualities according to their understanding of war and their tactics. But Walid's style and the smile on his lips were as if he was being forced. Khalid bin Waleed asked him to tell them that he had to take revenge for his defeat. All the leaders of the Quraish were participating in the next war, and he started gathering in Makkah. Walid said that he could not defeat the Muslims, and asked them if Muhammad's new belief was true or not. Hisham said that he was a traitor of his tribe and that his new belief was true. Khalid bin Waleed said that it was magic or the Quraysh would not have defeated the Muslims in Badr. Walid was not listening to them. He had a smile on his lips, and he was looking towards Medina. A little far from Medina, there was a place called Zul Halifa. When the three brothers reached there, it was already dark and they stayed there to spend the night. When they woke up in the morning, Walid was missing and his horse was not there. Khalid and Hisham thought that Walid had gone back to Medina and they saw that he was affected by the Muslims. Both brothers went to Mecca. A few days later, they received a message from Walid that he had accepted Muhammad as the true messenger of God. He was so impressed by his personality that he accepted Islam. Historians say that Walid bin al-Walid was the chosen one of Prophet Muhammad. He was also known as the one who fought. Khalid bin Waleed was very angry at that time. He lost his brother and also lost 4,000 dirham as there was a blood feud between the Quraysh and Muslims. That is why Muslims didn't return the money. The second reason for not returning the money was that Walid told Prophet Muhammad that the Quraysh is preparing. Khalid bin Waleed was going towards Medina. He started to see a bright light from the horizon. Khalid bin Waleed knew what it was. Khalid bin Waleed was going towards Medina. He started to see a bright light from the horizon. Khalid bin Waleed knew what it was. It was the mountain of Uhud, which is 4 miles north of Medina. At that time, Khalid was going on a very long and a little high hill. Khalid bin Waleed, Uhud. And he heard his voice. Khalid bin Waleed, I'm going to Medina. I am Abu Sulaiman. Along with him he heard the sound of a fierce battle and the sound of hundreds of horses and swords clashing. Khalid bin Waleed was eager to fight this battle. And he fought that battle. Khalid bin Waleed's mind kept moving backwards. It was 4 years ago. In the month of March 625, Shawwal 3 Hijri, the army that the Quraysh had prepared to attack Medina had gathered in Makkah. It was a total of 3,700 men were wearing armor. There were about 200 horsemen, and there were 3,000 camels. This army was ready to march. One day, Khalid bin Waleed remembered how happy he was to see that army. It was time to extinguish the fire of revenge. The commander of that army was Abu Sufyan, and Khalid was a part of that army. His sister was also going with that army. 14 other women were ready to go with that army. Abu Sufyan's wife Hind was also among them. The wives of Amr bin al-Aski and Abu Jahl's son Ikramah were also included. The rest were all singers. Everyone had a voice and they had 10 women with them. It was the duty of those women to sing passionate songs and keep the morale of the soldiers high, and to remind them of those who were killed in the Battle of Badr. Khalid bin Waleed remembered a Habshi from Africa. His name was Washi bin Harb. He was a slave of a leader of the Quraish, Jubair bin Mut'im. He was tall, dark-skinned and strong. He was famous for his archery skills. He had an African-made bow. His African name was something else. His Arabic name was given to him by Jubair after seeing his archery skills, bin Harb. Jubair bin Mut'im said to him, "I want to avenge my uncle's death. Maybe I won't get a chance. My uncle was killed by Muhammad's uncle Hamza in the Battle of Badr. If you kill Hamza, I will set you free. Hamza will be killed by my bow." This Habshi slave went to the place where the women were riding camels with the army. A woman called out, "Abu Wazma." This was Washi bin Harb's other name. He stopped. He saw that Abu Sufyan's wife, Hind, was calling him. He went near her. Hind said, "Abu Wazma, don't be surprised. I have called you. My heart is burning with the fire of revenge. Cool my heart." Washi bin Harb. "Yes, my lady. I will give my life for my husband's wife. Hamza killed my father in the Battle of Badr. You know Hamza very well. Look at the gold ornaments I'm wearing. If you kill Hamza, all these ornaments will be yours." Washi bin Harb looked at Hind's ornaments. He smiled and said, "I will kill Hamza." Khalid bin Waleed remembered his army. He went to Medina. He stood at a high place and saw the army. His chest was full of pride. He had mercy on the Muslims of Medina. But that mercy also forced him. It was the enmity of blood. It was a matter of his pride. It was his determination to crush the Muslims. After many days of the Battle of Uhud, he found out that when the Quraish were gathering their army in Mecca, the Prophet was informed. When the army was on its way to Medina, the Prophet was informed about its speed, its location, and its distance from Medina. The Prophet was informed about the army's route from Mecca by Hazrat Abbas. The Prophet was informed about the army's route from Mecca by Hazrat Abbas. The army of the Quraysh had camped at a place near the well of Uhud, which was green, and there was water. Khalid bin Waleed did not know that 2 of the Muslim spies had seen the entire army, and had informed the Prophet. Check 1, check 2, check. So friends, this was our today's episode. We hope you liked our episode. Before leaving, don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video. And if you are new to our channel, subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon so that you can get all our videos immediately. Take care of yourself until the next video. Share it with your friends and family members, so that they too can get knowledge about it. When the Muslims were able to fight in the form of an army, and they had their first battle with the Quraysh, Khalid bin Waleed was in such a situation that he could not participate in that battle. He was very sad about it. This battle was of Badr, in which 313 Mujahideen of Islam defeated 1,000 Quraish. Khalid bin Waleed was in tears, but the day he was lying in that Nakhlistan, he thought, how did 313 defeat 1,000? He asked the people of Badr, what was the quality of the Muslims that made them victorious? Khalid bin Waleed got up and made a map of Badr on the sand with his finger, and drew the lines of the Quraysh and the Muslims during their positions and battles. His father made him an expert in the art of warfare. In his childhood, he taught him horse riding. In his adolescence, he made him capable of controlling strong and powerful horses. In his adolescence, he became a horse rider. He was also an expert in horse riding. His father was his teacher. He not only made Khalid bin Waleed a soldier, but also a commander. Khalid bin Waleed liked war so much that he started to think about the ways of fighting. In his adolescence, he became capable of leading the army. He was sad that he did not participate in the Battle of Badr, and he used to think of ways of revenge. But now, his way of thinking was going in the opposite direction. A few years before his departure from Mecca, he was lost in the thought that the Prophet Muhammad had defeated Rakana Palwan 3 times. In Badr, the Prophet Muhammad defeated only 313 Mujahideen and 1,000. This was another power, but after the Battle of Badr, the fire of revenge against the Muslims was burning in his heart. In the Muslim Battle of Badr, the Quraish took the people as prisoners. This was a big shock for the leaders of the Quraish, but Khalid bin Waleed accepted it. He remembered that when the Battle of Badr was being fought, there was no news in Mecca about the outcome of the battle. The people of Mecca used to watch from the side of Badr that a rider would come from there and announce the news of victory. Finally, one day, a horse rider came. People ran towards him. The rider tore his kurta according to the custom of the Arabs, and he was coming crying. The Qassids who brought bad news used to do the same. When he reached among the people, he cried and said that the people of the Quraysh have suffered a terrible defeat. They used to talk to each other about whether they were alive, injured, or dead. The defeated Quraysh were retreating. Of the dead, 17 people were from the Banu Maksum tribe of Khalid. Khalid had a close relationship with all of them. Abu Jahl was also killed. Khalid's brother Walid became a prisoner of war. Abu Sufyan, who was the leader of the Quraysh, and his wife Hind were also present. Hind asked, "Tell me something about my father and my uncle, O Qasid." Qasid said, "Your father Utbah was killed by Ali and Hamza, and your uncle Shaiba was killed by Hamza alone, and your son Hamzillah was killed by Ali." Abu Sufyan's wife Hind first cursed Hazrat Ali and Hazrat Hamza with a loud voice. Then she said, "By God, I will avenge the blood of my father, my uncle and my son." Abu Sufyan was silent. Khalid bin Waleed's blood was boiling. 70 men of the Quraysh were killed, and the number of prisoners of war was also the same. Khalid got up. He left the river and rode with his horse Zine, and he went towards Medina. He tried to clear his mind of memories, but his mind would reach Medina, where the messenger of Allah was, and which had become the center of the propagation of Islam. As soon as he thought of the Prophet, his mind would go back and show him the scene whose creator was the Prophet. Hind's words came to his mind that he had said to his husband Abu Sufyan, "I can forget my father and uncle." Hind said, "Can I forget my dear Hanzila? How can a mother forget her son? By Allah, I will not forgive Muhammad for the blood of my son. This fight was fought by Muhammad. I will not forgive Hamza and Ali. They are the murderers of my father, my uncle and my son," Abu Sufyan said. "My blood is only boiling for the murder of my son. It is my duty to avenge the blood of my son. First of all, I will prepare an army against Muhammad and I will not let him fight again." Famous historian Waqidi writes that the next day, Abu Sufyan called all the chiefs. Most of them were those chiefs who could not participate in the Battle of Badr for some reason. And one of them was killed in that battle. Everyone gathered with the intention of revenge. "Do I need to talk more?" Abu Sufyan said, "My young son has been killed. If I do not take revenge, then I have no right to live." Everyone started talking at once. They agreed that the Muslims should take revenge for the defeat of Badr. Khalid bin Waleed said, "But none of you should stay in your homes. We were humiliated in Badr only because the chiefs stayed in their homes and sent those people to fight who did not understand the greatness of the Quraysh." Khalid's cousin Ikrimah, who was the son of Abu Jahl, said, "Didn't Safwan bin Umayyah's father also think about the greatness of the Quraysh? He became emotional. Where were you, son of al-Walid?" Abu Sufyan said, "We did not gather here to fight each other. Khalid, you should not say such a thing that would make someone feel humiliated." Khalid bin Waleed said, "None of us are honorable anymore. We will all be humiliated until we finish Muhammad and his followers forever. I swear on my horse's ears the heat of my blood has burned my eyes. These eyes can be cooled by the blood of Muslims. I will say again that now the chiefs will be ahead, and I know where I will be in the battlefield. But in the war, I will abide by the command of our chief." and if I think that the chief has given me such an order that will harm us, then I will not accept such an order. Everyone unanimously appointed Abu Sufyan as their chief. A day before that, a caravan of the people of Mecca returned from Palestine to Mecca. This was a commercial caravan. The people of Mecca, especially the families of the Quraish, had participated in that trade. There were about 1,000 camels in that caravan, and the goods that had gone were worth 50,000 dinars. The leader of the caravan was Abu Sufyan, who earned 50,000 dinars per 50,000 dinars. The way back from the caravan passed through Medina. The Muslims found out. They decided to arrest the entire caravan and took the entire caravan in a circle. But that land was such that Abu Sufyan took advantage of each person and camel and took them out of the circle. Khalid bin Waleed's horse was going towards Medina, but Khalid's mind was going backwards. When they were gathered to make a scheme of Quraysh's revenge, each word that someone said was audible. Abu Sufyan said, "If you have given me your leadership, then every decision of mine is binding on you." Khalid bin Waleed said, "My first decision is that I have not yet distributed 50,000 dinars to everyone. I will not distribute that. This decision will be used in a war against Muslims." Then Abu Sufyan said, "This is my second order. In the Battle of Badr, the people who were killed are being humiliated. I have heard men being beaten and women being banned. By God, when tears flow, the fire of revenge cools down. From today, no one will cry. And my third order is that the Muslims who were imprisoned in the Battle of Badr will not be released. You know that Muslims have set their ranks for the release of prisoners, and their ransom is 1,000 to 40 dirhams. We will not give a single dirham to Muslims. This amount will be used against us." Khalid bin Waleed was sitting on the back of a horse, and when he was going towards the horse stopped, and the wave of anger filled his entire body. That time was far behind, but anger was still awakened in him. He was angry that in the meeting it was decided that no one from Mecca will go to Medina to release his prisoner, but a man would go to Medina secretly and release his dear relative. Abu Sufyan took back his order. Khalid bin Waleed had a brother whose name was Walid. He was a prisoner of war with the Muslims. If the Quraish had not released many of their prisoners by then, Khalid bin Waleed would never go for his brother's release. His brothers forced him to go for Walid's release. He remembered that he was not ready to go for his brother's release. He was not ready. He had taken 4,000 dirhams with him.